Mark Cuban has been having a bit of a revival among the left, going from being just another Shark Tank basketball-owning billionaire to doing God's work on Twitter, fighting Elon himself on DEI, Trump, and more. Well, Mr. Cuban found his way onto the Fridman podcast where he talked about these topics in interview form, so much easier for us to cover than screenshotted tweets, and I thought why not break down some of his perspectives and the benefits in these things. First up is DEI, where I think he actually makes a really sound point.
So first, you can't do quotas. They're illegal unless you're, and I'm not the lawyer on this subject, but unless you're trying to repair something that's happened in the past, like some discrimination that's happened in the past. So it's not quota based. And I think that's really just kind of a straw man that people put out there. Now, does that mean that there aren't DEI programs that are implemented poorly? Of course not. There are everything that's implemented poorly in one company to another, right? Sales, marketing, human resources. You can pick any element of business and find companies that implement it poorly. But that's the beauty of capitalism in a free market, or mostly free market, where if you make these choices and they are the wrong choices, you're going to lose your best people.
Now, obviously, I disagree with him on the capitalism front, but he's exactly right about everything else. If you want to search hard enough, you can find companies who do marketing poorly, who do communications and networking poorly. Nobody is saying do away with those departments, and to go and search out negative outcomes with the sole motive of tearing something down, you're never going to get an objective view of it trying to do that. DEI has been around since the 60s. Negative effects would be able to be seen on a large statistical scale. We have 6 decades of evidence by now, but nobody ever goes and searches that out and does that because the data isn't on their side. Instead, they try to build up these straw mans that don't exist. One of which, as Mark Cuban mentioned, is that DEI is quota-based. Even though quotas were made unconstitutional in 1978, it is not quota-based. The other common one you get is it just means hiring whatever diverse person because of diversity, not because of qualifications, which is also wrong. DEI is diversity among qualified candidates. Let's say you're going through 5 hiring phases. Each time you have 10 qualified applicants, 7 are white and 3 are black. Each time you're only going to pick 1 to hire. DEI says through those 5 phases, you shouldn't come out with only white hires. It doesn't say hire 3 people of color for each white person you hire. It doesn't say hire 5 white people and then find 1 person of color off the streets to make up for it. Those are the caricatures of what DEI actually is that people build up because it's easier to argue against those than what DEI really represents and what the data portrays it doing.
If you look at the people he's hired, there hasn't been any turnover in his cabinet at all. If you look at the people he's hired over the course of his career, or while he was vice president in particular, there's nobody who's turned on him and came out and written books and made public statements about how he's bad for the country. Now compare that to Trump. The people closest to him, almost all of them turn unless there's a financial relationship involved. And to me, that says everything.
He's speaking like a true CEO here, but this is actually a very overlooked point that he's making here. Trump, even pre-overthrowing democracy, could hardly keep cabinet members. He was constantly having to shuffle the deck, get new people out there, fire other people, and this is the clear sign of a bad leader. Nothing makes you quit faster or leave a company faster than a bad boss. And now Republicans are leaving the party by the boatload. They're publicly denouncing support for him, all because they don't want that stain on their resume. Mitch McConnell is retiring. Lifelong Congress member, lifelong Republican Mitch McConnell is retiring rather than even risk undergoing another Trump presidency because of what it may do to his overall legacy. That should tell you something. Well, Biden, with much more diverse hires, might I add, has seen much better consistency, much higher loyalty, and better results as a direct result of that. And despite being a rich guy billionaire who would benefit from the tax cuts and Trump's brand of politics, you really have to appreciate Mark Cuban's willingness to speak out for what is right and just, despite his bank's best interests. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.